it's like the cereal conversation that everybody. It's like who?
Yeah, because
What
I pour my milk first.
do you really?
Yes, I don't want I don't want a full bowl of soggy cereal.
What are you talking about?
After a 5-year hiatus,
That's a minute. God damn.
welcome back to Friendly Fire. I would say as always, but reintroducing myself, I'm Sydney and my co-host Sean.
Sean, yeah, what's up? What's up?
Yeah, 5 years since we've done this.
And the Lions still ain't won the Super Bowl, but we a lot closer.
I might say so a lot further away than what we were at that time. So going the opposite direction.
Yeah.
But yeah, here we are trying to get back to this prior to this NFL season. So right now, NBA Finals just wrapped up. NBA offseason is kicking off. And then we a month away from training camp. So
Yeah.
right now, we got a little basketball to talk about. So that's what we're going to do here today. NBA Finals. The Oklahoma City Thunder took out the Pacers in a very...
What's the word?
Because I was going to say unimpressive, but I don't want to say unimpressive. But it was...
You know, that's kind of how all the Thunder series was, though.
Yeah.
Like they won in convincing fashion, but every game was like, I don't know, they kind of suspect. I don't know how to say suspect, but
yeah, it wasn't exciting. It was, they won.
Yeah, that's kind of just how they play. I guess I don't know.
They won. They won 4-3.
And then, I don't want it to seem like we hating on them
Exactly,
either.
yeah. We both picked them going into the series. We didn't think it would take 7 games.
I thought it was going to be 5.
Yeah, and I think I went with 5 too, maybe 6. But yeah, didn't think Indiana really had a chance, and they proved us all wrong, as they did throughout every series of this playoffs. Game 7, 7 minutes in, Tyrese Halliburton tears his Achilles, and after a phenomenal start to the game for him as well. Yeah. So who knows how that game would have played out if he didn't get hurt. But OKC won the finals, bro. Like, what is there to say about how the playoffs played out?
They feel like the correct champion, right? So by every metric all season, they were the best team.
Yeah.
They got the MVP, the scoring champion. So for me, the Pacers being on this like almost March Madness Cinderella run, they didn't feel like when you look back on the season, if they had won the championship, it would have felt like weird. You know what I mean? Like it wouldn't have been a good representation of what happened, as opposed to even the Timberwolves, right? Because the Timberwolves didn't get hot till after the All-Star break almost.
Yeah. And I was gonna compare it to Dallas last year. If Dallas would have won the title,
right. So, yeah, and I was fine with the Final Four teams because, honestly, this was the first finals that I enjoyed since Milwaukee Phoenix. But so, yeah, like this is the start of what could be them being the team to dominate this decade, right? Because throughout NBA history, every decade you look is a team winning at least 4 out of 10, 3 out of 10, going 6 times, whatever like that. And they so young and talented, bro. But, I told you when we talked the last time that it felt like that with Denver. It also felt like that with the Celtics, right? Yeah. Now, this is a little bit different because, they drafted all these people.
Yep.
So this is like the start of their run with Chet and Jalen Williams, and the rest of their team. But Dort. But, yeah, bro, they the champs.
And last year I remember feeling like, okay, OKC is a year early of where they should be. And then they came out this year. And once again, they just dominated from the beginning of the season. It's... Once again, they feel like the rightful champs all the way up until the end. Because once again, you look at Indiana actually being able to push them 7 games, but then Halliburton getting hurt.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, damn, well, what could have happened?
Yeah.
But yeah, bro, they feel like it feels right. If Indiana, like you say, if Indiana would have won, it would have been like, that's quirky. But, but yeah, OKC, they're the champs. I don't agree with your boy, with the Bill Simmons. I came across something of him the other day. He was like, "This is going to be the first championship in a long time to where it's like, when I think of the champion, in the same sentence, I'm going to be saying, oh, but Halliburton got hurt."
Yeah. I listened to that podcast after.
Yeah.
I think it's more like, just because, like you said, they pushed them so much more than we thought.
Yeah.
And Halliburton was so important to what they done. Like the way he controlled the paint. Like it didn't always have to you didn't always have to look at the box score to feel his impact.
Exactly.
Right. So it completely changed what could have been, especially since he was playing so well.
Yes.
To
start that game.
But every championship, how I always say, bro, every championship in every sport in the history of sport has a little bit of luck. That was their break.
Came at the right time.
Right.
So once again, off season, free agency kicks off in less than a week at this point, right?
Which is earlier than it usually.
Yeah. NBA draft going on now. No one cares about that. But let's get into the things that do actually matter going into this offseason. There's been a ton of trades already. Some big names being moved. We just talked about Halliburton, him tearing his Achilles, which is most likely putting him out for the next year.
Yeah.
Jason Tatum's in that same boat. Damian Lillard's in that same boat. So even already going into the next season, things are going to be looking a lot different. Mm-hmm. Let's start with your Orlando Magic. Let's start with the trade that y'all made for Desmond Bane, which looks better even now than it did a week ago.
First of all, like I told you all year, I think the Magic would have been a top 4 seed if they didn't have all the injuries they had at the times that they had them, because they hadn't been healthy all together since like December when Paolo got hurt first, then Franz, then Suggs. And you could really feel Suggs' impact the further it went. Yeah. Because it's our point guard, right? So, and then the shooting, obviously, we need more shooting on the team. So, I love the trade, and I feel like I like it more than you do, and more than the general public does. The talking heads on ESPN and stuff. Just because. KCP, I understand why they got him when they signed him, but he wasn't doing what we needed him to do, right? And then you know how I feel about Cole Anthony. Cole Anthony just, I feel like that's addition by subtraction, right? Because he is a streaky player off the bench, right? Sure. So when it's right, it's right. But we can't have him taking shots and Paolo not touching the ball. You know what I mean? So you take that away and you add Desmond Bane. Who I think is the shooting that we need. He's not a bad defender. He's not as good. He's not a Suggs, but he ain't somebody that the defense is gonna be able to attack. But more importantly, all these 3-and-D players that people want to have on teams. He's still somebody that can ball handle a little bit. He can put the ball on the ground and get to the rim. So yes, he gives us the shooting, but also just somebody who if he had to get his own shot. Oh yeah. You know what I mean? Yep. So like I love it, bro. I really like our chance.
Initially, once again, the move felt like to me it was it's a good addition, but to me as far as y'all go next year, it still depends on the progression of Wagner and Banchero. Mm-hmm. Like that's it. Whether it was returning KCP and Cole Anthony, or now you add Desmond Bane.
Right.
That changed once you look at the East being weakened. Mm-hmm. Once again, I don't see the Pacers getting back to this place next year with no Halliburton. Right. It's going to be tough for Boston especially now they going on their firing sale, which was going to have to happen either way.
Right.
But it makes it easier now that they know that they're going a year without Jason Tatum.
Mm-hmm.
And then once again, Dame not being available for Milwaukee. Giannis, it honestly makes sense for him to stay put now just because of what else is going on in the East.
Right.
But, who is coming along for the ride with him? Kyle Kuzma? So this makes it, to me, look like, well, you got Cleveland, you got Orlando,
New York,
and you got the Knicks, who don't even have a head coach at this point. So
and Detroit. I take Detroit seriously.
That's true.
Yeah, next year.
But yeah, so you're looking at Orlando easily being the top 4 team next year. And what separates them from the Knicks? What separates them from Cleveland? I would think Cleveland would probably be the favorite going into next year right now when it comes to the East.
Yeah.
But it's not like Orlando or the Knicks are far behind. So I like this trade way more now than I did initially.
But also, I told you, the more I watch Paolo, the better and better he's getting. Right?
Yeah.
He really is starting to feel like MVP finalist good, right? That's what I saw.
Yeah.
His ascension. And, if he continues on that trajectory, then you definitely got to make win now moves.
And he started off the season like that before he got hurt.
Oh, yeah.
And then, so it was good to see once he came back from his injury, him being able to still get back to that same place.
Yeah. And more shooting is only going to make it easier for him.
Yep.
So,
yeah.
I love it.
Let's go to Kevin Durant.
I love that trade, too.
Somebody else we knew would get him traded. We saw the places he listed that he wanted to go. He goes to Houston. He gets traded for Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, and a first-round pick.
Nothing.
Literally nothing.
Yeah,
which is
nothing.
Which was confusing to me as well. But so him in Houston, that gives Houston exactly what they could have benefited from this postseason.
Yeah.
Which is somebody who they can trust at the end of the game instead of trying to figure it out. And once again, all you lost in return was Dylan Brooks and Jalen Green, who Kevin Durant can do everything Jalen Green can do plus more at this point. And Dylan Brooks, you can live without him.
Right. That's addition by subtraction to me too. Right.
Yeah.
And Kevin Durant's career, the time that he's been the best has always been when he ain't had to do nothing but be a bucket.
Yep.
Right? And so the Rockets already they got their point guard. They're going to be great at defense, right? They got depth. They don't lose any of their depth for real. So you just need somebody in the fourth quarter, get the score.
Yeah.
And that's Kevin Durant. And, bro, he's 37, but I mean, he's still 7 feet tall and can still shoot. You know what I mean?
Can get a shot anywhere on the court. Yeah.
So I understand why his price tag is what it was, but bro, you add that to the mix with that kind of defense that they play, that kind of coaching staff. Hey, I don't want to disrespect the champs, but I feel like right now they're the favorites in the West.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting. Let's go to Boston's first trade. Boston traded Drew Holiday to Portland for Anthony Simons, and a second-round pick. Once again, we knew Boston was going to have to start coming off some of these big contracts so they cannot be in the repeaters tax, which nobody actually cares about. But once again, this is
tax stats. Hey, let's talk about the second apron. Don't know what you're talking about.
But to me, this was a good trade, though. This was
for who?
For Boston.
Oh, okay, yeah.
This was honestly, it was a good trade for Portland too. But let's start with Boston.
Yeah,
it was a good trade for Boston because once again, you get a good young player while also shedding salary. Anthony Simons is going to be somebody that they're going to be able to rely on in the absence of Jason Tatum.
Right, and he's on an expiring too. So
yes,
that's,
so Drew Holiday, we know what he is. He can definitely run your offense. He's still a decent defender. He's a leader more than anything. What benefits Portland in this too? who have a young team who's looking at the OKCs of the world and being like, well, we could be in the same situation that they're in. We've drafted these players. We just need a veteran presence and more time.
Again, it's the start of the offseason, so you don't know what teams always have planned. But I get it for Boston. It makes a lot of sense for Boston. But I didn't really understand it from Portland's point of view. Like, yes, you want to get something for Simons if you're trying to move to Sharp and goddamn, I can't think of his name right now.
Shaden Sharp and I just looked up his name.
I cannot think of his dude's name right now. The point guard that they just drafted. But anyway, why am I blanking on this dude's name? But if they want to start using him, like, you know, give them more space to grow, I get it. You want to bring in a veteran, but I mean, Drew is owed a lot of money over the next couple of years. Like that's, I don't know. But I wouldn't have wanted to get into the Drew Holiday business if I'm Portland. What is this dude?
Who else are they going to Scoot Henderson?
Scoot.
Who else are they going to pay though? Who's coming to Portland? So it's not like they were going into free agency being like, we're going to get somebody to give this money to.
True.
So yeah, I mean, I like the deal for him. I think that he's going to help those young guys a lot. Now, what they actually get from him when it comes to on-court play, who knows? He's getting older,
right?
But I think he can be. To me, it makes me feel like, or it reminds me of when OKC acquired Chris Paul from Houston.
Okay.
In the Westbrook deal.
Oh, okay.
They didn't expect Chris Paul to come out there and do what he was able to do for them in that season.
Right.
They needed a leader in the locker room with SGA and a young team to try to help them build going forward. Not expecting to win games, but expecting for him to be able to mentor them in a way that mattered. Yeah. And it paid off for one because they made the playoffs that year. But now they're the champions. So that type of stuff matters too. Washington's going overboard with it. But that stuff matters too. Speaking of Washington, the Pelicans traded C.J. McCollum, Kelly Olynyk, who I didn't even know that they had, and a future second-round pick to Washington for Jordan Poole.
I thought Poole was unmovable.
Really?
Like, I mean, hold on. Obviously, nobody is unmovable because
Bradley Beal is unmovable.
Yeah. I thought he was that level of, you know, but I mean, whatever. So. I don't know. Listen, bro. The Pelicans, they got so much potential to do stuff to be interesting. But I think I thought it was time to get out of the Zion.
It's been time.
Yeah.
It's way past time now because now, yes, you can still get something for him, but what you could have gotten for him 2 years ago, that's gone. You're not getting there no more. Nobody's looking at Zion and being like, that guy can be the franchise, the face of our franchise, and get us to where we are. Now people are looking at him and being like,
they need to trade him for Ja. Just switch them idiots for each other. I'm just playing.
So yeah, the Pelicans. Jordan Poole is a good player. He is what he is, though. Like, don't expect too much from him. He can shoot the ball. Yeah. He's going to shoot it way more than you want him to shoot the ball. But but this doesn't do anything for New Orleans. But I think he may have been on a lesser contract than C.J. McCollum. Maybe not. It may be the same amount. You got younger, but that's about it. You got more offense for the game Zion misses next year, and you just hope that Brandon Ingram can stay healthy.
Ingram.
Oh, no, Brandon Ingram is in Toronto no more. Yeah, so they definitely needed this.
Yeah.
You hope Deontay Murray is healthy
next
year. But, yeah, banking on Zion at this point for New Orleans it's insanity. Like, now we've done this too many times now. Like, now we got to get what we can get for him. Trade him to Brooklyn, trade him. I would have traded them to Washington, if we're being honest.
Yeah.
If they wanted them. I definitely would be out of that game. I have no idea what they're doing. Did they fire Willie Green?
No.
He's still there?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what New Orleans is doing. I'd be doing things a whole lot differently, but what do I know? Back to Boston. Boston traded Porzingis to Atlanta in the 3-team trade where none of the other people actually mattered. Porzingis goes to Atlanta. Boston again shares more money. Now you're looking at Trae Young, Jalen Johnson, who I really do like.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still missing somebody. They had a rookie this year that was really good.
Oh,
they had Dyson Daniels.
Yeah.
And I still feel like I'm missing somebody. Who was their small forward?
Well, they had Hunter, but they traded.
But then they got rid of him.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Atlanta's a really solid team. Yeah.
And you know I've always liked Porzingis.
Yeah, it's his health at this point.
Yeah.
I'm quite sure they're gonna move on from Clint Capella this year.
Chris Paul is amazing, bro. I was just because I was thinking about this the other day. For real, we could get sidetracked for a second. I was thinking about this the other day. How many centers Chris Paul made superstars, right? Like just Tyson Chandler. He went on to win a championship with Dallas, but when he was in New Orleans, he was like, an all-star almost, right? You leave Chris Paul, he become just, a role player, basically.
Yeah, basically.
DeAndre Jordan, he makes a superstar.
Yeah.
And with the Clippers, he leave. Ain't nobody even said nothing about DeAndre Jordan no more. I forgot he was even on the Nuggets when they won the title. And then Clint Capella, when he was with the Rockets, I mean, yeah, bro, you a rim rolling center. You about to be a superstar with Chris Paul, but
which is why he need to go back to San Antonio. But yeah, so Atlanta is, like you said, interesting team who have a really good coach as well.
I saw that trade was on the block too. Like they was trying to trade him to Sacramento. Did you see that?
Who?
The Hawks.
We're trying to trade who to Sacramento? When?
Yesterday. Oh, yesterday. Literally yesterday.
Yeah, I did not see that.
Yeah, but there was like Sacramento price is too high.
Good, because I don't like that. I honestly do not like that.
Yeah.
Trae Young and Sabonis, I don't like that.
Yeah.
Nah. And then the last trade that actually matters up to this point was the Mark Williams trade last night, him being traded to Phoenix.
Dog. What do you think about that? You go first.
Phoenix,
it's fucking funny to me, bro.
I've been saying this about Phoenix since the new owner bought the team. I don't know what they're doing.
I mean, I swear. I was like, are they just trying to make a team of shooting guards and centers? Like, what's happening with this team?
When they traded for Jalen Green, I was like, well, you asked for the wrong player.
Right.
For one, you're not going to get a man. Like, we get it. But Jabari Smith should have been the player you wanted in that deal.
Yeah.
You bring in Jalen Green, who's going to do what for you? You going to play Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, and Jalen Green?
Well.
Or is this you trying to force Bradley Beal out?
I had heard that they trying to move Green to another team, but
I hope is the case.
But I listen. To be honest, I understand that. I understand Kevin Durant. Like, never mind. I was about to get sidetracked to talk about Giannis, but go ahead. Mark Williams. Let's talk about Mark Williams.
Yes, Mark Williams traded to Phoenix. I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know, bro. That's obviously Charlotte was done with him because once again they tried to trade him to the Lakers at the trade deadline,
which I think was a big deal that the Lakers didn't get him.
It was actually it was. We should have went back to the well. Try to get there.
Yeah.
But yeah, now he gets traded to Phoenix. Once again, what Phoenix is doing, nobody knows. I don't think he has much left on his contract either, though. I think he might be going into the last year of his deal as well.
Yeah.
This trade does nothing for anybody except for Charlotte, who was able to get off a player that they've been trying to get off of.
Yeah. Like you said, bro, Phoenix, I feel like ever since they lost in the finals, they've been regressing. Like everything that they've done since then has been, what are you doing? Exactly. I thought they should have flipped Aiden for Turner and kept Durant, Chris Paul, and Booker. That's what they should have done. But then they traded Chris Paul, and it was like, why?
Yeah.
You still need a point guard. So,
and I thought they should have just kept Ayton, honestly. I
mean, but that's another one another example that I was thinking about from my Chris Paul rant a second ago. Because I forgot he played for Portland.
Yeah.
Like it was like, oh man, he was the number 1 pick. He's starting to look like it a little bit. No, that's Chris Paul. That's just Chris Paul.
Granted, DeAndre Ayton did have a good year in Portland, but he's in Portland, so who's going to pay attention to that? And then Klingon came along and got his minutes. So that's where we stand right now. Once again, for some reason, the draft is still going on. No one cares about anything that's going on there. Free agency starts June 30th. We will try to be back here after that first wave.
Yeah.
And then we got about 3 weeks until training camps open up, and we'll start looking ahead to the NFL season and making some predictions. Talking about Detroit, talking about the Saints, and other teams that matter. But once again, we're back, and we'll try to keep it. We'll try to hold off on 5-year hiatuses going forward. We appreciate y'all for watching, for listening, and we'll see y'all next week.
So I want to end with something fun. So I saw on TikTok, this girl was asking, how do you get in the shower? All right, do you turn the shower on and get in by where the water gets turned on? Do you turn the water on and get in from the back? Or do you get in the shower and then turn the water on? Which, before you even answer, what type of psychopath?
I was just about to say, if you get in the tub and then turn on the shower, you're either white or a serial killer.
Yeah.
That's it. You're either white or a serial killer or both.
Right.
Who does that? Definitely turn the water on first, but then I enter in the back.
I think most people do.
Yeah.
So I thought that was really funny, bro.
And I see shit like that all the time too, and I'd be like, dog, it never dawned on me that anybody does it any other way. Yeah.
It's like the cereal conversation that everybody. It's like, who?
Yeah, because I pour my milk first.
Do you really?
Yes. I don't want a full bowl of soggy cereal.
What are you talking about?
Who wants
that?
Hold on. What's the point of eating Captain Crunch with no crunch? Because that's what happens if you pour the milk on after the cereal.
Well, you're not saturating it to start. You're just getting it a little wet. Pause.
So what, you use a spoonful of milk for your cereal?
Yeah.
What?
Wait, hold on.
You might as well not be using milk.
How do you know how much milk you need? You just pour to a certain point and then put cereal on top? That's crazy.
And then if I have leftover milk, guess what? Just pour more cereal on top.
That is insanity. What are you talking about? So you put the bowl, you pour your whole bowl of cereal, and then you pour your milk to get it damp. You're not wetting it all the way.
What? The wetness spreads throughout the bowl of cereal. So how much? So wait.
No.
Wait.
The different levels.
You gonna make me tell you go get a bowl? Because I'm really interested now in how much milk you put in your cereal. Because most people still end up with a bottle of milk.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, see, me personally, because I don't consume a whole lot of cow's milk to begin with.
Yeah.
So I don't even put a lot of milk in there. But still, even when I'm fixing cereal for the kids, it's still enough.
I enjoy a nice spoonful of cereal where the milk is like at the bottom of my spoon.
Right. No, it's still gonna be like that.
And the cereal is dry at the top.
No, man. No. So you saying soggy as if
it's going to get soggy. If you're pouring milk, you said you're not saturating it, but if you're pouring milk across the top of your cereal and you're wetting that cereal,
yeah, just to make it a little softer.
For what?
Because it's because what's the point of dry cereal?
It's not dry because once again I'm gathering milk as I eat my cereal.
Hold on. This started as a shower conversation. We can agree to disagree.